Weigh the fish without the weighmaster on the stage. He's been the hardest working man on stage the past 2 days. Let's welcome him up. Mr. Austin Bassmaster Howard been working hard all week as he comes up. He's a Bassmaster. He's fished in the opens before, and he's going to keep us organized here on stage. All right, the scales are set. Austin's set. Awesome crowd. Again, you guys are awesome here in La Crosse, Wisconsin. So we're ready to get going. You guys ready to crown a champion and see how this all unfolds? All right. Well, let's get started. If they're your angler, I want you getting loud for them when they come across. Coming to you from the state of Michigan, he is an elite qualifier sitting inside the top 15 in points. Garrett Paquette. 2-day total of 32.9. 5 in the bag. You need just 1 pound, 14 ounces, Garrett. 17 pounds and 10 ounces, and Garrett Paquette moves into the lead, and all the anglers start doing math in their head now. 3-day total of 50 pounds and 3 ounces. Let's hear it for your new leader, Garrett Paquette out of Michigan. Well, these northern divisions, what we call Division 3, have been very good to you this year.
Yeah, they have been. This has kind of been my weakness as far as traveling goes, which is funny because I live up here. But I've always struggled with the smallmouth. I've put a lot of effort into the last couple of years, and it's starting to pay off. But, man, this was such a fun week. I've been traveling, I think, doing tournaments for 9 years now, which is crazy to think about. And I've never been to La Crosse somehow. So this was my first trip. Truly loved it. You know, I think I talked to my cameraman at the end of the day, and I was like, literally every single stop we made today, we caught fish. I mean, this place is just full of them. For me, it was real simple. I started on a school of fish that me and Chris actually found together, and caught a couple there each morning. He outfished me badly every morning, so then I had to go around like 50 miles south down to Pool 9 and crank a bunch of wing dams and rock and stuff like that to catch my fish. But I'm happy with it. You know, coming into this, I wanted to make it interesting going into Hartwell as far as the EQ race goes, and I think we've done that. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely, you have. So you talked a little bit about the success, but how'd you find the fish? I mean, and it just seemed like it. We didn't weigh 4 anglers in on day one. Everybody's catching fish, and it looked like that on live. Just everywhere you went, it just seems like there's just fish everywhere on this river.
Yeah, there is. So in the grass, which is where I started, you know, you had to find those fish by just fishing old school. I took a chatterbait and just threw it out there, covered miles and miles and miles each day. And the nice thing about here is when you catch a fish, it's not a mystery. Like a lot of places you go, you catch one every 30, 40 minutes, and you're kind of wondering, hey, is this a spot? Here, it's like when you caught one, I mean, you would catch them every single cast for, you know, as long as you wanted to sit there, and then you go to the next one. So just putting in the work, you know, covering a lot of water, and, you know, ended up finding 5 or 6 spots like that. And we had a bunch of current in practice, which kind of slowed down, and I think the fishing would have actually been better had the current stayed, but that made practice easier because those fish were really biting. They were getting ready to go, and it was fun. But want to say thanks to, of course, all you guys for coming out. This is great. Friends and family back home, my wife, and then a special thanks, I was told to say this, is to the Lockmaster, because I know that the story of the tournament has been the locks, but those guys are truly working as hard as they can to get us through and, you know, make our days easier. And today, you know, the last couple of days, there's nothing they could do with the barges, but today, to and back, I think I waited less than 15 minutes, which is awesome. I mean, they had those things ready to go, got me in and out, made my day a breeze, so.
He is in the lead. Let's hear for him, Garrett Paquette. The mark now is 50 pounds and 3 ounces. And let's keep on rolling. He's got a couple of top 10s under his belt already. Out of Cumming, Georgia. Come on up. Paul Marks, 5 in the bag. To unseat Garrett Paquette, you need 17.9. 32.11 through your 2 days of fishing. Looking for 17.9. 14 pounds and an ounce up to second place for Paul Marks. 3-day total, 46 pounds and 12 ounces. With Paul having an awesome year, he is inside the top 15 in EQ points, and he's getting out of La Crosse with a top 10 right now in second place. All right. I think it's safe to say not only you survived La Crosse, you thrived here this week.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting to do this good, but it worked out good, and I'm glad I got another top 10 because starting to worry a little bit. But
watching you on live today, I think you were the only angler that went up a pool today, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I stayed in this pool all week.
That means our graphics guy was completely wrong with where you were located today on live, but that's all right. But how'd you get it done this week?
Mostly caught all largemouth and some grass the first day. Yesterday I had a good bag, and then I figured I'd go try some smallmouth, and I ended up culling 3 times and got a big bag. And today I tried to do that all day, try to get a really big bag, and it just didn't work out. But I'm happy with the top 10.
Have you ever fished here before?
I fished here in high school 4 or 5 years ago, and
so when you go to break down a place like this, you got 3 pools. I mean, how'd you approach that this week?
I heard the locks are really bad right now in the last couple years, so I just I didn't even look at another lake because I didn't want to get screwed.
Key thank yous this week, Paul.
Yeah, I'd like to thank all my sponsors, my friends and family. They're all watching at home. That's about it. I mean, I guess head to Hartwell.
One more tournament to go, and the scary thing for all the rest of the field is you are an expert on that lake. Nice job. Let's hear it for Paul Marks. We'll keep on rolling. He calls Hayden, Alabama home. He is your Logan Martin Open champion. Come on up. Josh Butler, 32-13 through his 2 days of fishing. 5 in there, 17-7 unseats Garrett. Looking for 17-7. 15 pounds, 14 ounces up to second place for Josh Butler. Again, he is classic bound and getting out of La Crosse with some great points, and will set his sights on Lake Hartwell. Wrapping up this event with 48 pounds and 11 ounces for Josh Butler, all the way to second place at the moment. Josh, you got off to a quick start today. We saw a lot of your fish catches because you didn't go far, about 100 yards that way it looked like.
That's right. I tried the old release fish pattern, I guess. There's a lot of fish around here, but yeah, I just tried to capitalize on that. I said if no one was going to start there, then I would, and we waylaid them.
Yeah, you caught a lot. You got it going quick. But other key places this week that got you here in this top 10?
I mean, I pretty much stayed French Slough to here all week. Just try to keep it simple. This place, really dangerous to run, takes you forever to get in out of places, and I just committed to around here, just figured out how to catch fish around here and stuck with it.
You said on day one when you weighed in that it reminded you a lot of home on the Coosa River, so clearly there were some similarities that made you feel comfortable.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, flooded timber. I mean, then you got the current, rock. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, and they will absolutely chew a jig. So it did remind me a lot back home of Lay, Logan, and all those places. So it was a lot of fun.
Key thank yous?
Yeah, I would like to thank my family, my wife, Lacey, daughter, Jesslyn, my mom, everybody watching back home. Got to thank everybody at work. Thanks for holding the fort down. Appreciate y'all. And I want to say a huge shout out to Powerhouse Marine. It's having some mercury trouble this week, and they couldn't get it figured out over there, and took it over there, and they got me up and running within probably about an hour. So huge shout out to them. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know that, but good job. Let's hear it for Josh Butler. He's headed to the Bassmaster Classic via Logan Martin win, and headed into Lake Hartwell with some good points, and we'll see how that all shakes out. Speaking of top 10s, he's got several, and he's inside the top 10 in the EQ points out of Oxford, Alabama. Come on up, Matt Adams. 2-day total, 33-1, Matt, through your 2 days. 5 in the bag to unseat Garrett. You need 17-3, looking for 17-3. 14 pounds, 11 ounces up to third place. 47-12 for the Oxford, Alabama Pro. And Matt Adams going to get out of here with some good points again, unofficially in 9th place before we wrap up today in the Tackle Warehouse Elite Qualifier points. So Matt Adams having a special season. And let's hear it for him one time. 47-12 through 3 days of fishing. Had you ever been here before?
I came in pre-practice before Leach, before cutoff, and that was it. I love this place. I absolutely love this place. And I made the decision, with the points the way they were, I wasn't going to lock. I actually got frustrated in practice, went down for 2 hours and said, what in the world am I doing? And come right back to 8. So I had some I went with smaller areas. I saw guys really concentrate on bigger mats. I caught every fish on a frog. Every single fish I caught all week long was on a frog. And that was fun.
It was awesome watching on live today. Just typical things you would expect with La Crosse, duckweed, and some other taller grass. I don't know what you guys call it here, but sometimes it's called tules, pencil reeds, whatever it may be. But just firing that frog around and huge blow-ups on the camera.
Yeah, and sometimes the blow-ups had teeth, and I mean big ones. So I lost, I think, 15 frogs this week. They didn't have a chance. I did lose a 5 and a 4 today. The 5's the biggest fish I've seen any day here. So that's a little frustrating, but that's part of the game when you're throwing a frog.
We're getting down to the stretch. One more event to go, and I know the pressure's probably starting to get to you a little bit.
Man, it don't matter. It's going to be what it's going to be, and if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. And that being said, I will go home, unpack my stuff, pack it right back up, and go to Hartwell before cutoff.
It's goes off limits a week from today.
That would be accurate.
There we go. All right. Well, again, great job. Any thank yous you want to get in?
Yeah, I need to thank all my sponsors. Without those guys, especially like today, Frog Togs, the stuff that they make, I was able to use without having to put bibs on, throwing a frog all day long. That's going to hurt my back. So that was good. Powerhouse, Davis Bait Company, Waterland 6 Cents, Spear Point, PTG Outdoors. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody.
If you are, it's okay because they know you love them and a good job. And we love you too. Let's hear from Matt Adams all the way to third place. 47-12, and we keep on rolling. He's in the top 3 in elite qualifier points, rolling into today out of Idaho. The only man to turn and go that way this morning at takeoff. Let's welcome him up. Cody Meyer. 2-day total, 33 pounds and 6 ounces. 5 in there, Cody, to unseat Garrett. You need 16-14. 15-14 jumps you to second place, 49-4 through his 3 days of fishing. So Cody Meyer going to get out of here again unofficially. Probably going to be in second place in those elite qualifier points and having a magical season. Let's hear it for him. All right, you just keep hitting, Cody. You've had a great season so far.
Man, it's been awesome. You know, I've had a lot of regrets this year at times. Like, man, am I doing the right thing? And every tournament, something happens that just changes the tournament. It's like it was meant to be. So thrilled to be here. Love coming to the Cross. I think this is one of the best river fisheries I've ever been to. Been here probably 5 or 6 times over the year, and literally, I promise you guys, it keeps getting better. So you guys are doing a wonderful job. This is the best I've ever seen it. Last year, I thought it was the best. I had about 15 a day and finished in the top 10 in another tournament. And this year, it was like 15 pounds, was just average. So love coming here. Highlight of the day for me, I caught a lamprey eel. I don't know if you guys saw that on live, but that sucker was scary. I'm not going to lie. It had fangs on it. It looked like Freddy Krueger out there. So I wish I could have weighed that in. I could have hit 16 pounds today, but such is life. It's still out there swimming, so you guys have a chance at catching that thing, unfortunately. But yeah.
Talked about it this morning. You were the only angler that went that way. Were you there all week?
I was. So, funny story. I started off in pool 9. I told myself I wasn't going to go down. I've always dreamed of fishing the Elite Series. And, I did 12 years of the FLW Tour and 5 years of the BPT. And I took a bet on myself to come do these opens to try to make the elites. And I said I don't want to lock, and I ended up locking. And the whole time I was down there, I was scared to death that I was going to get locked out. So I got back up here, went into the Black River at 2:05, and from 2:05 until 4 o'clock, I caught 18 pounds. And after that, I have a quarter tank of gas in my boat, and I said I'm not putting gas in, so I'm not tempted. And I'm going to fish right here, and I'm going to try to catch as many bass as I could. And that's what I did, and caught a lot, and caught probably more today than I have all week. Just the size wasn't there like that first day. But, again, magical event for me. Catching bass, I love it. I love catching as many as I can. I love seeing you guys. Want to thank my great sponsors, beautiful wife at home. I'm actually thinking of going to Hartwell for a couple days and checking it out. We're this close. Just got to finish it off.
Finish strong. Good job. He had a great finish here at La Crosse. Let's hear for him. 49-4 through his 3 days of fishing, all the way to second place. All right. It was awesome watching him on live today. This is his first top 10 of the season out of Georgia. An EQ angler, come on up. Cody Stahl. 2-day total of 33 pounds and 9 ounces. 5 in there, Cody. To unseat Garrett, you need 16-11. Looking for 16-11. 19 pounds and 8 ounces. The biggest bag of the tournament. 3-day total of 53 pounds and an ounce. And Cody Stahl says hello to the top of the leaderboard. Again, with the biggest bag of the tournament and a 3-day total of 53-1. Bobby Bakewell holds the Big Bass lead right now. One round of applause for Garrett Paquette. Nice tournament this week, sir. Bobby Bakewell holds the Big Bass right now at 5'2". You got it, 5 pounds, 4 ounces. And that's how to finish this thing out.
Man, I did not think I had that. I honestly thought I had around like 17 and a half, 18 pounds. Honestly, I just threw them in the box, weighed them, threw them in the box, and didn't even calculate it because I knew I had a lot of work to do today, and I knew if I just put my head down and get the right bites, I could make it happen. And honestly, I lost 2 big ones today that I felt like seeing that I had 19 pounds, I don't know what I could have had if I had those 2 big ones. But man, this week's just been a crazy week. I've absolutely loved this place. Growing up back home, I fished river systems all the time with my dad. Growing up, and that's just how I learned to fish. And just being able to just cut all my grass off all week and just go fishing and fish, dirt shallow and push pole around. Oh, it's just been phenomenal, and just had a ton of support. And actually, the crazy part is on day 2 of practice, my buddy Trevor McKinney, we decided to go goose hunting, and on the lower end of pool 8. And my whole entire game plan on day 2 of practice was to go pool 7. But after we got done goose hunting, I went right behind when where we were hunting, caught a 4-pounder, settled down, and then at 11:30 seen a barge come through the lock that's been in there all morning long. I said, I do not want to deal with that because I do not fish good like that. Running around dealing with the lock, I'd like to settle into an area and pick it apart. And later that day, I found one pretty good area, and then I just went from there and stayed in pool 8 in that one area, just dissecting it and trying to find the best possible stuff I can. But man, it's just been a phenomenal week, and I'm happy with it.
Well, they talked about it on live. You've been a high school student, a high school angler, a high school All-American, a college angler, and now an opens angler. You've kind of climbed that ladder as you've progressively gotten older, and seems to be paying off here at La Crosse especially.
Man, it seems like every year I just learn something very crucial to build my fishing career up. It's like, if you look at my season at the very first event on Okeechobee, I finished 187th. Worst finish of my entire career, but I can tell you one thing, I would not change it because I learned so much fishing next to Ish Monroe and Andrew Upshaw and just learning how they dissect an area when they know the quality's there. And that's exactly what I did today and all this week, and that's what it led me to, finish the couple good finishes that I had, the rest of the year. I just got to work on my smallmouth fisheries when they're shaped like a circle, and I'll be all right.
Well, that patience and paying attention may be your ticket to the Bassmaster Classic. Let's hear for Cody Stahl. Biggest bag of the tournament so far. Wow. And then there were 4 left. Let's welcome him up. Coming to you from Canada, Danny McGeary, EQ Angler, 33-10 through his 2 days. 5 in the bag. Danny had a great finish at Leech Lake and at St. Clair as well. To unseat Cody, you need 19-8. You need exactly what Cody had. 33-10 through his 2 days. 5 in the bag, looking for 19-8. Great job on fish care. And 33-10 through his 2 days, looking for 19-8 with these 5. 13 pounds and 9 ounces. Grab you a couple real quick. Danny jumps you to 6th place. 47-3 his 3-day total. He wanted to say 2-day total. And Danny McGarry, the EQ angler, going to get out here with some good points, a good payday, and a good finish in 6th place right now. All right, Danny, nice job this week. How'd you get it done?
Oh, man, I spent most of the week up in 7. I didn't really care about the locks. I knew that I'm kind of out of it for the points in the EQ division, so I just really wanted to make the Classic. And any time that you get to fish day 3, it's exciting. So, yeah, I went up to 7 today. It was a grindy morning. We caught 1 on live. It was pretty cool. Thanks to Hunter, my camera guy. It was awesome. He's really good at filming. But, yeah, it was an exciting week. Turned off my graphs and just went old school, man. Threw a frog, flipped the jig when I came back down here, and yeah, it was an amazing week. Never been to La Crosse, but I can't wait to come back. I really like this river.
What made you key in on Pool 8?
I fish a lot of rivers back home. I do a lot of steelheading and stuff and current breaks and stuff like that. So a lot of them shorelines look a lot like how we steelhead. So I just kind of broke it down like that and fished the jig like that.
Awesome. I love hearing those kind of stories and how you guys break down that water. Who do you want to say hi or thanks to?
Say hi and thanks to all my friends and family back home. Huge support. So many phone calls and texts last night, and they're all watching. Thank you so much, and thanks so much to my sponsors. Thank you, Bass, and yeah, hopefully we're back up on the stage competing for a Classic berth one day.
Awesome. One more to go, Danny. Good job. Let's hear it for him. 47-3. His 3-day total all the way to 6th place. All right. Every time he's fished in a Bassmaster Open here in La Crosse, he has had a top 10 finish. He calls Iowa home. Let's get loud for John Engler as he comes up. 33-14 through his 2 days. Saw some awesome topwater action for John earlier today on live. 19-4 to unseat Cody, looking for 19-4. 13 pounds and 12 ounces for John, going to jump him to 6th place. 47.10 his 3-day total. And John, yet again, showing he knows how to fish this river with a top 10 finish in front of 215 other anglers. And let's hear it for him one time. John, very impressive this week. Nice job.
Thank you. Definitely not the finish I wanted, but I knew I had to have about 18 pounds today, and I tried to wait them out, and they won.
It's fun, though, watching that topwater plug early this morning.
No, it wasn't. I broke off one. I retied. I had a northern break me off right after that, so anybody on the south end of the pool that finds some sexy dogs floating, they're mine.
But still, you showed your way around this river, and yet again find yourself in the top 10 here. Nice job.
Yeah, thank you. This is an honor. There's a bunch of good fishermen that come out of La Crosse, and to compete against them, let alone these up-and-coming plus veterans that fish this stuff year in and year out, to compete with them lets me know that I can still do it. So.
Absolutely, you can. Who do you want to say hi? Thanks. I heard some yells out here, and you got a lot of guys on your shirt, too.
Yeah, I grew up here. This is home to me originally. They're probably cheering for me because of my hockey skills, not my fishing skills. But anyway, in fact, one of the guys I played against is out there somewhere. I don't know where. Dave, where are you? But anyway, there he is. Yep.
In the Green Bay shirt.
Yeah, we battled a lot. So anyway, they seem to beat us every time. I don't know why. But anyway, I want to thank all the support. My phone blew up over the weekend, or Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. My customers, friends, family, it was awesome. My girlfriend, she made it up here today to surprise me. That was awesome. I want to give a shout out to Aiming for a Cure that's on my shirt. 20 years ago, a young gentleman was diagnosed with cancer. His dream was to never have another child have to go through what he went through, the pain and suffering. They started an organization for him that has raised millions of dollars for kids at the Children's Hospital out of Iowa City. It goes directly to the children in need, the families in need, goes direct to them to help them out through their hard times. If you want to be a supporter, go to Aiming for a Cure and help out.
Class act. Let's hear it for John one more time, sir. Great job. All the way to 6th place. All right. And then there were 2. You know what that means, Worse? You're going to finish 3rd place.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I never would have thought going into this week. I mean, not only would I finally, bust into a top 10, but I mean, just to have, be in contention to win and actually on the final day have a shot to win it and just shut the door on it. I mean, it's just, man, I can't complain. I've had so much support this week and all throughout my career with all my sponsors, on the GSM family and with Big Bite Baits, Bill Lewis and Buckeye and Cyclops Lights. I mean, those guys are phenomenal. They took a chance with me. And, I mean, even ALX Rods, I've been running ALX Rods for almost 10 years now. And just having the support of those guys all throughout the years just while I'm growing in my career, back when I was in high school and then all the way up to, where I'm at now, it's just phenomenal. And, I mean, just to, just say the heck with it on day 2 of practice and go hunting when I'm normally, daylight to dark practicing all the time as hard as I can, using every second. I mean, it's just crazy.
Makes you relax a little bit. And by the way, per rule, that was totally legal. I don't know if anybody's wondering that, but they called and I said, yeah, I mean, as long as you're not breaking any tournament rules, you're fine. Okay, well, the good news for you, you're still there. The bad news for you is these 2 guys, you had 19-8. The one about to come up had the biggest bag until you just weighed that at 19 even. And let's get ready to bring him up. Watched him all day on live. He calls Kentucky home. He's an elite qualifier angler. Come on up out of Kentucky, Chris Boudry. 34-4 through his 2 days. 5 in the bag. To unseat Cody, Chris, you need 18-14. Looking for 18-14. 16 pounds and 9 ounces up to 2nd place for Chris Boudry. That means that's going to be a top 3 finish for Chris with a 3-day total of 50 pounds and 13 ounces. Again, Chris Boudry having a fantastic finish. And let's hear it for him one time, all the way to 2nd with 50 pounds and 13 ounces. Chris, we've been close before at Chesapeake Bay, but you can tell today you laid it all on the line, and it's going to be a great tournament and a good finish for you.
Yeah, man, I tried everything I could, and it just wasn't meant to be today. But it looked like Cody had a ball, and he's fished with me before as a co-angler, actually, my very first year, and he put it to me back then out of the back of the boat, so it doesn't surprise me he's done it today. But thanks to all the friends and family back home for the support. Couldn't do it without you guys, sponsors. Can't thank you enough. And maybe one day we'll get this done, get to the Classic.
Well, pretty bold move today. I don't know if you guys watched on live, but Chris, per bass rules, if you have a fish that dies, you can't cull it. You can't get rid of it. And Chris had, I'll just frame it. You had some live well issues or something maybe, but he turned loose 3 fish. 3 out of the 5 fish, he let them go. And knowing that those fish, if they died, were not going to give him the chance to win. And I would say that was a good decision because it's jumped you all the way to second place. And I think the 3 that you described you let go would have not given you the ability to get 16-9 today.
Yeah, absolutely not. They were all 3 under 2 pounds, and if I'd have kept them and they wouldn't have made it, then I wouldn't have been able to cull at all. And I had 2 really big ones in there I knew I wouldn't cull. So I made the decision to let those go because I've been getting about 15 to 20 keeper bites a day. And from what I hear, I made a lot of people nervous back home. But we got it done. We made the adjustments and going to come away with a good payday from it. So.
Oh, yeah, it was a super successful tournament for you this week. The 19-pound bag you caught on day 1, was that in the same area where you were fishing today?
Yeah, I started on the same spot each day. Yesterday when I got there was a couple other boats, so I had to kind of heed way to them and make some adjustments. But we pulled up there this morning and caught 2 really good ones real quick and missed a couple big ones. But I thought before that might have got me the win, but now after Cody weighed or Stahl weighed in, I don't think it would have done it. But stayed in those same areas and go frogging a little bit in the afternoon and caught some on a spinner Picasso lure spinnerbait this week. And pretty much everything I caught was on Vicious Fishing No Fade Braid 60. That stuff is amazing. I can spool it up at the beginning of the season and it still looks brand new at the end of the year. Not really any reason to change it other than just peace of mind, but you don't need it. But if y'all haven't used that, give that a try. All my rods, iRod fishing rods, they've worked flawlessly this week. Didn't break any of those. Didn't tear up the Triton or Mercury, and Power Podes kept me in place all week, so it was great.
Awesome job. Let's hear it for him one more time. He's been close many times, and he's going to get there eventually, all the way to second place with 50 pounds and 13 ounces. Well, that now means the worst you're going to finish is second, which means you're taking at least $19,000 back home to Georgia. I know Chad probably likes that too.
Man, I tell you what, right now I can use every penny of that. Man, it is tough trying to work a full-time job and travel at the same time with, traveling across the country. I mean, my dad's been a huge help with me for the last 2 years. He's been traveling with me as a co-angler and pretty much just doing it just to help me out with driving, the lodging and everything. I mean, when I first started, I barely had enough just to pay entry fees. And I made a deal with Dad. It's like, man, you got to if you want a bed to sleep in, you got to cover the lodging because I can't afford it. I was going to sleep in the truck, if I had to do it by myself. And I mean, it's been so nice traveling with Dad. I know I give him such a hard time sometimes, but I've learned so much from him in the past. And man, it's just been a phenomenal week.
And I mean, he is a stick. He's your reigning and defending non-boater angler of the year last year on the Open. So again, the Stahl family knows how to catch a bass. All right, we're not quite going to bring Chris up with his fish, but we are going to bring him up to chat because it's going to get crazy in a little bit. So we're going to have him hold his fish. Let's welcome him to the stage. Chris Hellebuyck out of Michigan. He's an EQ angler. He's rolling out today in the lead. Let's not give away anything about fishing. I mean, a lot of people, we know you had a great day. We watched it on live, so we just got to make it official. But talk about the week and how special this is to be right here for you on Championship Saturday with just yourself left away.
Yeah, this is the Mississippi River has always been one of my favorite places, and when I saw it on the schedule this year, it's you look forward to it. You come here and it's just loaded with fish. This is one of those places that's just absolutely full, and so when you come here, you have fun. You're out there catching fish, and it was a good week. We'll see what happens, but definitely a good week, and hopefully we got enough.
Papa R, jig, all that stuff. It looked like it was fun.
Yeah, it was. Definitely the things you want to catch them. I mean, nothing's funner than setting the hook as hard as you possibly can on a jig and top water blow up. So yeah.
We'll get some thank yous in before we officially see who's going to hold this trophy up.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to thank my wife. This is our 8th stop here, and without someone like her at home, that it just doesn't happen. So that's something really special, and then also just my friends and all that back at home, because that's who you learn to fish from. You know, they look at things different, and you learn from it and stuff like that. So, but yeah, overall.
Head over there and get them. Cody, I need you right here. The good news here is that means one of you guys is going to the Bassmaster Classic. We are that close. We're going to get side by side. 34 pounds and 6 ounces through his 2 days of fishing out of White Lake, Michigan. Let's welcome him to the stage. Chris Hellebuyck. Bring him to us. 5 in the bag. 18-12 to take the championship. Right here, Cody, side by side, looking for 18-12. If it's anything less than that, it's Cody Stahl looking for 18-12. 18 pounds and an ounce, and Cody Stahl is going to be your champion here at La Crosse, Wisconsin. Rick, let's get that trophy up while we got the momentum going. One round of applause for Chris Hellebuyck. That was a great finish. He's going to end up coming in second place with 52.7. And you, my friend, as we get this trophy up here, you're going to be walking away with $47,000 and a berth to that 2025 Bassmaster Classic.
God dang. Man, I'm speechless.
This is how much fishing means to these guys. Let's hear it for him as we get this trophy up on behalf of St. Croix Rods. Rick Miller with the hardware. And Cody, step right here in the middle in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Let's get loud for your champion, Cody Stahl out of Georgia. Going to be taking on the trophy. $47,857 later. And that is yours for the rest of your life.
Golly, man. To start the season out, not even thinking I deserved to be here and to compete with these guys, and after all the years of hard work and time on the water, God, it feels good to finally, bring one home and feel like I belong here. With all the, financial troubles, not troubles, but just.
We got to get that picture.
Man, just with being so tight, traveling and everything, just trying to make it happen and just gambling everything, just putting life on pause. It's just, man, it was a tough road, and just finally to bring one home and, get some money to, keep me going, and just get to fish the Bassmaster Classic against the best guys in the world. That's freaking phenomenal.
And we pointed about it, and I thought that was really cool about what Chris Boudry said. You fish as a non-boater with him in the opens, but you have just steadily worked your way up that fishing ladder here under the Bassmaster umbrella, and now we're headed to the Bassmaster Classic.
Man, I told myself when I was, growing up, at 7 years old, I was driving out of Barry's boat dock fishing Friday night tournament with my dad. And I had 4 out of the 5, and he had the smallest. We had like 16 and a half. And I remember driving down that dirt road when I was 7 years old, telling myself this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I want to make it pro. And I stuck with it when everybody else told me that I'm not going to make it. And I'm still, got a lot of work to do, and hopefully next year I can make it. But just to finally, bring one home, God, it just feels amazing. I've just had so much support over the years from even my fiance this year and even last year. She's been such a trooper dealing with everything, and just putting her life on pause also just to allow me to keep fishing and doing the sacrifices that it needs to happen in order to travel and qualify. And even TDS Mold, I've been working with them for the last couple of years, and just allow me to have the opportunity to take 9 weeks off. It's just been phenomenal. And all the GSM guys, this one's for y'all. Y'all took a chance on me, and especially Big Bite Baits and Alex Rods. Those are some of my longest sponsors for all my life. I've been running Alex Rods for the last 10 years, and they ended up sponsoring me back in high school. And just all the support over the years with even Big Bite Baits, they're like family to me. Back before GSM bought them, I actually stayed with Dennis and Joyce Montgomery to put me up when I moved to Eufaula, Alabama, and they're like family, and just all the support. I can't thank everybody enough, and it's just been a phenomenal week. Never would have thought this.
We got one more thing for you, and we'll get a picture of this. The Happy Gilmore check. Step right over here. Andy, is that all right? Hold that up. And let's hear it one more time for your champion, Cody Stahl, with 53 pounds and an ounce. $47,857 later. That'll help him get him back home to Georgia. All right, we'll have you step off, Cody. Go celebrate with everybody. We're going to get second and third place back up here. Thank you, Cody. Again, congratulations. Rick, will you bring the hardware over here, please, sir? Second and third place. We'll go ahead and get those up here. Chris Helbig, come on up. Make your way up. He's going to walk out of here in second place. $19,143 for Chris. Two Chris's. We'll get Rick Miller up here again. For second place, let's hear for Chris Hellebuck. Great finish for him. 52.7 through his 2 days of fishing. And again, $19,000 going back to Michigan with Chris. Great job, Chris.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely be nice to get home. It's been a long week, so I look forward to it. I just want to thank everyone here for coming because this is awesome. You know, this is an awesome crowd, and you know, now I love the Mississippi River. But
good job, Chris. Thank you, sir. I'll see you at Lake Hartwell. And third place, we'll get Chris Boudry up here, and $14,357 going to him. 50 pounds and 13 ounces, his 3-day total. Chris, congratulations, sir. Gonna be a good finish for you. Let's hear it for him one time. Chris, again, congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, thank you to my title sponsor, Leslie Boudry, my wife.
Yep.
She's the number one there.
Very smart, very smart. Let's hear it for him. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up. We all finished this way. Garrett Paquette in 4th place. Cody Myers, 5th place. Josh Butler, 6th. Matt Adams is 7th. 8th place was John Engler. 9th place, Danny McGarry. And rounding out the top 10 is